Lynchburg yesterday over a
Father O'Shaughnessy?
Yes.
Great Paulwell in Lynchburg, Virginia. How are you?
Good morning. Go to hell!
Free your mind.
Well, good morning. Jeff Manaski. What a... I was absent for the entire weekend. And I'm hoping that I will... my wife had the greatest weekend ever. And I'm hoping that I'm going to make it through this morning here.
So you continue to be a little bit under the weather.
Well, it's somehow this went into my throat. Friday night when I left, we went to the Pioneers game, and the Pioneers clinch a UCHC conference championship, their 10th straight.
Yeah, it was awesome. Went to overtime, then a shootout. After Chatham tied it, it felt like with, 2.5, 3 minutes left in regulation. They get the tying goal. It seemed really late in the third period. And then, obviously, Utica scores on their first two shootout opportunities, and the Pioneers shut them down.
And and their goalie stopped.
Yeah.
Both shots.
It didn't even go to the best of three. They win it 2-0. And then Saturday, they come out 10-3. They beat Chatham. The Comets were home.
Afternoon game.
The Comets were home Sunday, I believe, right? Smitty was there. They got 3 power play goals and won 3-1.
They were home on Saturday, too, but they ended up losing 2-1. They won yesterday. It was a double dip on Saturday. Pioneers at 2, Comets at 6.
And then, of course, Sunday morning, Team USA, the men, 2-1 final in overtime. They beat Canada to capture the gold for men's ice hockey.
The women and the men.
Yeah.
Both beating Canada in overtime.
So I have to tell you, I timed it perfectly. It wasn't planned. It was totally by accident. But so I went over to my father's for breakfast, Carter and I, for Sunday morning, and I was lagging out of bed a little bit. He had a friend over Saturday night, and they're young, but they're off from school, so they're playing their games, and they're mostly behaving, so they were up kind of late. That was the deal. You behave, and I won't impose the bedtime limit. Anyway, so I'm a little slow getting out of bed. By the time we get over to my father's, have breakfast, and end up being like a brunch, I turn on the game. Overtime's just starting. They scored early. I mean, it was the only 3 minutes of the hockey game that I watched, but it was the best 3 minutes for sure.
So I set an alarm. I was making sure that I was up early anyway. And watched the whole game, and it was really Canada's game to lose. I mean, they dominated the U.S. in the second period.
Oh, they outshot them big time.
But they outshot them and just dominated. And you expected this to be, and even through a good part of the third period, and then the U.S. scored. So, and then they came out and they were just on fire in the overtime period.
And Sidney Crosby didn't play for the Canadians, so that was kind of an advantage against the Americans.
Yeah.
Not having Sid the Kid in the Canadian lineup because he got hurt during that upper body on Friday.
So it was really something, right?
Yeah, and I have a question because I saw they did this for both Team USA and Canada. And I don't know if it was tied to winning a medal, if it was hockey specific. Did you see they were giving out like a stuffed animal after
like a little beanie baby? They gave them to at least all the hockey, because I saw the women medal ceremony, and they gave them to the women also. And in fact, my wife said, "This is so ridiculous because they won't be giving the beanie babies to the men when they win," and they certainly did. I was waiting for one of them to look at it and be like, what are we doing with this? But apparently they're hugely sought after, and everybody wanted to get a hold of one. I don't know what they're worth or what they're made of or whatever, what it is.
I immediately thought Beanie Baby as well. Do you know that it was?
Oh, was it?
No.
No.
I'm
I just
asking.
thought it. I described it as a Beanie Baby.
So here's what they were kind of big too. It says all the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan, Cortina, yada yada. Medalists received a unique 2-for-1 stuffed animal set featuring the mascot Tina the Stoat for Olympians, or Milo the Stoat for Paralympians, along with a small Flo character. These plushies are presented to athletes on the podium, creating a memorable, sometimes humorous contrast to intense competition. So Tina and Milo are white winter stoats, a species of weasel designed to represent the Italian host cities of Cortina and Milan, respectively. The Flo alongside the mascot. Athletes receive a Flo, which is a small snowdrop flower-inspired character that was a popular finalist in the mascot design competition. Cultural significance: stoats are native to Italy and change from brown in summer to white in winter, camouflaging against the snow. Okay, well, there's the explanation.
I told you my wife had the most amazing weekend, and from Friday night until right now, I have spoken no words. I have not been. Anybody called me. I texted them back. Because my voice was gone. So the way to get here today was to not talk, and she loved it. It was incredible. Now, she was a little annoyed when I would kind of snap my fingers.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. Nonetheless,
Little clearing of the throat and a
so
finger snap.
The goal is to get through this morning without losing tomorrow.
Now, this is the first time.
And then I have a colonoscopy on Wednesday, so I have to be well enough to go through that.
Is that what's in the mug?
No.
The flush?
I'll explain the mug. And this is supposedly what all the great singers and audio people will use when they're trying to keep their voice. It is a cup of water, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar.
Oh.
And it's tart, but it's helped, I think.
It's the first time in 15 years you didn't walk in with a Diet Pepsi.
That is probably true. Tanya J. Powers on the line right now. Good morning, Tanya. Big news from the Supreme Court on Friday.
Yes, and by the way, as somebody who loses their voice quite frequently and just did a little while back, you have my sympathies.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It is so annoying to know that you have to depend on your voice and it's just gone, and all you can do is wait for it to come back.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like that when I go to pay my bills. I've got to rely on my bank account. It's just empty. There's nothing there.
It's similar. It's similar.
The tariff decision was finally released on Friday. The Supreme Court ruling against the president's tariffs. These are the tariffs that he had imposed under IEPA, which is the International Emergency and Economic Powers Act. And to say that he was not pleased about this is an understatement. He gave remarks on Friday afternoon in response to this. And basically what he did was immediately proposed a 10% global tariff under a new, an alternative law, not a new law, an alternative one, Section 122 of the 1974 Trade Act. That he later increased that on Saturday to 15%. So that's kind of where things stand at this point. It doesn't change the destination, it changes the journey, so to speak. He just basically has a new strategy for doing the same thing that he tried to do under a different act.
Well, many say that that is not eligible to be used under the current circumstances. We'll find out where that goes. And I thought that in the Wall Street Journal, Justice Gorsuch had a very interesting essay where he said this is actually the way America is supposed to work. Everyone's saying this is judicial overreach, but it's and it said what we did is we protected the Congress. This is up to Congress to do their job. Now the question will be, will Congress do its job?
Yeah, because some of the sections that he mentioned about, okay, well we can't do it this way, so we're going to do it this way. We're going to work on there's section this and section this, and sort of after a while, unless you're just a complete policy wonk, that it made your eyes glaze over, and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But okay. Obviously, his advisors have been working on an alternate plan just in case this is what happened. But I thought it was interesting. I think it was Gorsuch. I don't know how many pages long his
it was
concurrence,
like 30 pages.
Was. Yeah, it was pretty lengthy. And the general gist for part of that was, which I don't want it to be overlooked, because basically it's not, and I don't think it was just him. I think it was Roberts as well. But because some of the gist of the concurrence was, hey guys, wait till a different president's in office. You're not going to want them to do this.
Right.
Which is kind of something that I think a lot of people may forget about is, okay, well, if there's a president from the party that you don't like in office and they start doing this, this kind of stuff where they're using different, acts that have not been traditionally or were not, crafted for that. And they're saying, okay, well, we're going to use this as a justification for whatever, you're not going to like that either. So that's kind of what part of the concurrence was, that okay, this is an overreach of executive power basically, and you wouldn't want a different president to do this. It's not okay for this one to do it either. So that's why I thought Kavanaugh's dissent, the three dissents came from Kavanaugh, Thomas, and Alito. Which not a huge shock. Kavanaugh basically was saying, okay, well, you can't do it this way, but you can do it this way,
right.
Which I found interesting. He was kind of giving him not a roadmap, but it was like, okay, well, it won't work under the one that you're trying to do, but there are ways around this. As for refunds, that's going to be a big question that was immediately posed by a lot of businesses, even some states. I think Illinois and California. I believe Governor Pritzker had a mock invoice that he had drawn up for, the refund on, the things that businesses and people in Illinois have paid as far as tariffs go. But some of the businesses have already, filed suit saying, okay, we would like our refund for tariffs that we paid, that we did not pass along to consumers or whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of small businesses had to do that anyway. A lot of prices have gone up in the last year because of that. So refunds, no, there's no, who knows. As a matter of fact, the president said in his statement or in his remarks to the press, he said, yeah, that'll probably be tied up in litigation for years. Who knows how that's going to be, what's going to come of that.
Well, we'll see what today brings with all of this. This is really the first time the Supreme Court has said no to President Trump. I mean, there have been, smaller.
In a big way.
Yeah, this is big. So, all right, interesting stuff, Tanya. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
Sure. Thank you.
All right, Tanya. Jay Powers, Manansky with an update.
Bill, we have mostly cloudy skies and 24 degrees, and this news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. American citizens in several Mexican states are being advised to shelter in place as unrest spreads. It comes after Mexican security forces killed cartel leaders, a cartel leader known as El Mencho, in a military operation that's now sparked widespread fighting among various drug cartels. The areas affected include the popular tourist destination of Puerto Vallarta. The White House is reacting after the Secret Service shot and killed an armed suspect at Mar-a-Lago early Sunday morning. The U.S. Secret Service says two of its agents and a Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office deputy shot the male suspect after he entered the secure perimeter at the Palm Beach Resort with a shotgun and a gas can. In a post on X, Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said Secret Service acted quickly and decisively to neutralize a crazy person. Millions of people across the Northeast will be waking up to blizzard conditions as a powerful winter storm stalks the region. The National Weather Service says the combination of heavy snow, strong winds, and coastal flooding may cause impossible travel conditions and power outages over the northern mid-Atlantic and into the Northeast today. Right now, we are not dealing with any snow showers. The Federal Emergency Management Agency is focusing only on life-saving operations during the partial government shutdown. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said Sunday that FEMA is scaling back to the bare minimum and pausing disaster aid for long-term rebuilding projects. It's the 11th time the agency has paused long-term projects because of funding issues since 2003. The curtain has closed on the Milan Cortina Olympics. The Winter Games ended yesterday following the closing ceremony in Verona, Italy. The U.S. men's hockey team capped the games with a dramatic 2-1 overtime victory, beating Canada in the gold medal game. It was the first gold for the Stars and Stripes since 1980 and just their third ever. And now volunteers, Bill, are looking for signs of Nancy Guthrie in southern Arizona. The mother of Today co-host Savannah Guthrie has been missing since February 1st. A group got together yesterday to scour the area close to where the 84-year-old lived, as the search for her has now entered its fourth week. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time. Coming up on 641, here is your Weather Center forecast.
Powerful nor'easter well out of our reach, but some flurry snow showers around this morning could coat the ground up to an inch in some spots, so could be some slick travel early. Other than that, clouds into the afternoon and about 30 degrees with a gusty breeze. Tonight, single digits down around 9. North Country colder, wind chills below 0. Mainly cloudy tomorrow, cold in the upper teens with a chance of snow tomorrow night until Wednesday. And then maybe a little rain mixing in the afternoon. 37 Wednesday's high. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Station, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies and 24 degrees. You want some comments?
Sure.
This is from Conservative John. There is no I in team, but you remove the goalie from the U.S. men's hockey team, and they lose 47-1.
I agree. I could not believe how good he was. And I really thought he should have gotten the MVP. It went to the Canadian player. And everybody's all up in arms over that. But he, like I said, Canada dominated that game. And our goalie was so good. I completely agree.
Lance is, he's Lance. He says, talk about karma. Wasn't a certain radio host making fun of Robert Kennedy's voice last week? Funny how things work out.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Lance, if I could count the times you make fun of people, and if karma was real, you'd be in I don't even know where you'd be. You probably wouldn't be with us right now.
Connor Hellenbeck was the goalie that he plays for the Winnipeg Jets.
He and his brother both played on the team, right?
Yeah.
And
is that true?
No, I don't know if his brother
then
played
don't
on the
say
team.
yeah. Don't say yeah if you don't know.
Sorry.
Don't agree with me just to agree, because then you're wrong with me. You don't want to be that.
So, and if I'm not mistaken, didn't two brothers scored the goals, Quinn and Jack, I believe.
Maybe those are the brothers.
Quinn got the first one,
okay,
and Jack got the overtime winner. I don't think Luke was on the team, but he is a defenseman for the New Jersey Devils.
He's hurt.
And
he's injured. That's why he wasn't on the team.
The one who scored, the younger one, plays for New Jersey. He, I don't think he played in Utica. He was a number 1 draft pick, and I think he went right to New Jersey.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's been through Utica. We'll get to all of it coming up.
Could you imagine, though? Brothers, they got the 2 goals in the gold medal game. Quinn got the first, Jack gets the game winner.
Yeah. 6:43 at WIBX.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com, or find Hair Volume in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Mike this morning says, listen, if karma is real, Lance and Lee, his next life, he'll be a piñata. Well, there you go, Lance. Let's see. What do you think on the MVP? You have all of these people that are, and you know the president's piping in on it. They chose Canada over the United States. It's political. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, listen, we won the gold. Both men and women. I think that's pretty big.
I do think, look, we would never here in America, I don't want to say never.
Well, what they're saying is the Olympics have always been treated differently. It is not the same way that we do it in the United States.
Well, in the United States, it's a popularity contest. Yeah. You know, really it is. And you could make an argument. I'll use the Super Bowl as an example. You know, there are many times where the Super Bowl MVP gets a new Toyota truck or something like that, right? So it's like, well, we can't give it to the offensive line because we got to give it to five guys. Right. We give it to one guy. And when was the last time? Have we ever had like a Super Bowl MVP on a losing team? I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I'll look that up and double check it in a second. It does seem a little odd to have the MVP come from the losing team. Although, you know, I think a lot of times we overlook here in American sports the true meaning of an MVP. It usually just goes to the flashiest guy on the best team.
Well, and what they were saying is based on his scoring, he was the most important element for that team, whereas it may have been spread out more on the U.S. team. I don't know. I don't follow it enough to know, but I would say I also find it very really in any of the, especially the team sports like this. If you get the silver, you are bummed.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the bronze winner is over there celebrating and
because you won your last
laughing.
game.
Yeah. Whereas the silver, you just lost one of the toughest games you've ever played.
Yeah.
Both the Canadian men and women. So,
Quick Google search, Dallas Cowboys linebacker Chuck Howley is the only player in NFL history to win Super Bowl MVP while playing for the losing team.
What year was that?
1971. It was Super Bowl V. He recorded 2 interceptions and a forced fumble in Dallas's 16-3 loss to the Baltimore Colts.
Wow. And it wasn't close.
Well, a 16-13 loss.
Okay.
16-13 loss, I'm sorry. But, yeah, 2 interceptions and a forced fumble. I mean, he was the whole defense, it sounds like, for that game. Yeah, it's rare to see that, but I got to be honest, and I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Trump love out there, and I'm not saying I hate Trump because I don't, but I just wish sometimes he would just stop. He's got to weigh in on everything. It's not good enough that they both won gold, and the United States did very well in the Olympics. It's like it's the constant us against them. Please.
You know, it was conservative John that made the comment that without the goalie, we would have gotten crushed.
Without their goalie, we would have had a blowout win too, maybe.
So, we had far fewer shots on goal. Almost, I think, less than half the shots on goal.
Yeah, it was like a Utica Pioneers game.
Yeah.
They outshoot the opponent 2-1 almost every time.
So let's speak about the Pioneers. They win their 10th straight conference championship. That's a big deal.
Yeah, shootout victory. They won the shootout 2-0. We were all there, as a matter of fact, on Friday. It was a great game. Then on Sunday they come out and they win 10-3.
Yeah,
and the Pioneers even had a big shots on goal advantage in Friday night's game. Obviously, the score was much closer, but it's like every game they outshoot the opponent by a significant amount.
So the win, I think, was very important Saturday for Utica, because if they don't win the tournament, they should still get in based on their winning through the season.
Right.
That was a very important game for that.
Yeah, absolutely. The hope is if they don't win the division, right, they can still get an at-large bid. They're currently ranked 9th in the country, and I'm trying to pull up the shots on goal statistics here from Friday, but I do not have that right in front of me. Individual and play-by-play, box score. Yeah, I just don't see, it's just not popping out at me. But so the Pioneers will play Saturday night, 7 o'clock at home, and they will play the lowest seed remaining in the tournament. There's a couple of quarterfinal games on Wednesday, and actually, matter of fact, I have the matchups right here. If you just give me 1 second. And of course, I clicked off it. UCHC hockey.
It's SUNY Brockport against
They're the
Chatham,
6th seed,
which is number 6 against 3, and then number 5, Albertus Magnus at Nazareth.
There you go. And
so 5 and 4 is Nazareth 5. The other team is 5. SUNY Brockport is 6. Chatham, who we just seen, is 3. So it says the lowest seed first round winner will go against Utica on Saturday at 7, and the highest seed winner will go against number 2, SUNY Geneseo, at 7, also on Saturday.
So that'll be what round?
That's the semifinal round.
That is the semi.
Yeah,
so
the championships will be the following Saturday, the 7th.
And I got to tell you, the championship game is not going to be an easy game. This season, UCHC has been very competitive.
Oh, for sure.
We'll see where that goes. But the Frozen Four, the national tournament will go through Utica. Pretty cool. What else do I? Dunkin' Donuts is testing a massive 48-ounce bucket drink. And I think morning people would use that a lot.
I don't know. There's too much. We do everything in excess.
We do.
As I sit here 30 pounds overweight. Trust me, I know.
Here's audio.
Dunks, what are you doing to me? It's New England in a freaking bucket. I love it. Listen to that. It's the most satisfying swirl. The one thing, I don't know where to put this in the car.
So 48 ounces. So it's basically double. It's 2 drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what is the size of a normal drink? Is that?
Yeah, they have 24, 32.
Yeah.
48 is pushing it. I mean, you're talking.
It's pretty big.
Yeah.
What else do I have here that happened? Of course, this snow hitting.
Now that's soft drink, by the way. 24, 32 is like a soda.
Right.
I think typically coffees are 8, 12, 16, 20. I mean, that's 48 ounces of a coffee drink. That's a lot.
Yeah. The snow, this nor'easter coming up, we're getting none of it. I mean, we're maybe a couple of inches, but really we're getting almost none of this. Whereas New York City right now has a blizzard warning. I don't know how much snow they're going to get, but it's snow and sustained winds.
Yeah.
Everything is shut down right now in New York.
Look, I just keep checking the forecast, all right? So they're saying Saturday we might hit 42. That's what I keep looking forward.
Well, this is your final week of February.
Yes, Saturday is the last day of February. The month goes by quick. Obviously, it's just 4 weeks. But yeah, I just keep looking for the days where we can get a little more snow melt and a little more snow melt. And by the way, what we got last week was, not much, but I'm grateful for it because the snow banks have come down. It was getting to be, for a while there, you come to the corner and you have to inch out, inch out, because the banks were so high you couldn't see if cars were coming crisscross.
There is a zoo in Japan. If you've been online or maybe you recently been to an IKEA and you picked up, they have this stuffed orangutan.
Okay.
And you have it. It is worth a lot of money right now.
Really?
And they're sold out at IKEA. A zoo in Japan has gone, the actual monkey has gone viral, the real monkey, because for some reason it's left without a mom, and everybody is kind of rallying around this monkey, and they gave it an IKEA orangutan. By the way, be prepared. I'm not going to make it much longer.
I can tell.
Yeah. I'm only going to I'm going to do damage. Anyway, the president of IKEA visited the zoo. They gave it the stuffed monkey, and this thing pulls the monkey around everywhere. Here is audio.
Baby Japanese macaques immediately cling to their mother's body after birth to build muscle strength. However, because he had been abandoned, Punch had nothing to grip onto. We tried several options to give him something to hold. We rolled towels into various thicknesses to find something easy to grasp, and let him try holding different stuffed toys.
There's your translator.
Listen, if you have one of these monkeys, I
sell it on eBay. They're going for a lot of money.
Please sell it now, because in 2 weeks or 2 months, it's going to be worth nothing again.
Yep.
Please get some bang for the buck right now.
It is the end of an era. Mr. Clean is retiring. The jacked, and they've tried everything. They've really tried to jack him up even more, modernize him.
They got him on the RFK TRT is what they did. They put him on that testosterone treatment. His caricature, man, he looks bigger and better than ever. I can't believe he's retiring. He looks like he's ready for an MMA fight.
It's the end of an era until they decide they're going to bring him back.
Yeah.
Which could happen. Here's audio on this one.
It's true. Mr. Clean has announced his retirement. After a career with 0 stains on the record, he's ready for new adventures. But don't worry, his products will continue to be available to support all your cleaning needs. What's next for Mr. Clean?
Okay.
This could be, just some stupid, and probably is. Well, it is a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
So take it for what it's worth. Let's see. Next hour, Joel Barkin from the Oneida Indian Nation. We'll get the latest there. Hobike's free money question of the day. How long will I last? Probably not much into the 7 o'clock hour, I would assume. And then, who is this? Anthony Miccaroni is the new challenger in the 122nd. He's challenging Brian Miller. Is he a Democrat or a Republican?
I believe it's a Republican primary.
From the Oneida area, down a little further south, do we know?
Yes.
Okay. He's coming up next hour, so get ready for that. 6:57 at WIBX.
Winter has officially taken over, and the cold isn't playing around. Though the weather is frigid, the deals at Steve Ponte Chevrolet in Herkimer are on fire. If your ride isn't ready for snow, ice, and everything Central New York throws at it, it's time to turn up the heat with a brand new Chevy from Steve Ponte. Right now, drive a 2026 Chevy Equinox LT all-wheel drive for just $319 a month. Need more muscle? Get into a 2026 Chevy Colorado Crew Cab 4-wheel drive with the towing package for only $299 a month. Or go big with a 2026 Chevy Silverado LT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, just $399 a month. Warm up to a better ride today at Steve Ponte Chevrolet, your hometown Chevy dealer. Chevrolet, together let's drive. See why it's always easy to do business at Steve Ponte Chevrolet. Customer must qualify top tier credit with GM Financial and qualify for the GM card. Equinox and Silverado must have Chevy lease with GM Financial and household and $3,000 down. Colorado must have select vehicle and household and $1,000 down. All taxes, fees, and first payment due on delivery. Must take delivery by February 28, 2026. See dealer for details.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley Mattress Express's President's Day sale is on from upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. No one else in New York State has all the brands under one roof that we do. And right now, save up to $1,350 on names like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, Therapeutic, Simmons Beauty Rest, Black Serta, iComfort, Avocado, and more. A full line of spa-grade massage chairs take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans. In Rome, on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. In Oneida, in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS. Don't overpay for your next mattress. Come to upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express.
WIBX Utica Road, W295
From the WB Payne Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
The Northeast is crippled by a blizzard. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Snarling travel and shutting schools with blizzard warnings from Delaware to Maine. New York City's in the middle of it.
They were still cleaning up from a snowstorm weeks ago. We're now dealing with blizzard-like conditions. This is a bomb cyclone. Where I am right now is right here in Central Park.
And Fox's Alexis McAdams is standing in almost 10 inches of snow.
It's not just that it's coming down, heavy amounts of snow. It's that it's whipping around. So we're talking 50 to 60 mile an hour winds some places across the Northeast. So that's what makes the visibility drop so low, and that's why there is a travel ban.
And while people are told to stay off the roads, air travel is pretty much grounded across the Northeast.
Well, nearly 20,000 flights have been disrupted across the country from this blizzard through tomorrow.
Well, that's Fox Business Network's Connor Hansen at Washington Reagan Airport, and there are also more than 400,000 power outages. The most are in New Jersey, followed by Massachusetts and Delaware. Americans are told not to go to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and those there are urged to shelter in place after drug cartels retaliated to a drug lord being killed.
The Mexican army says it conducted operations in Tapalpa, Jalisco, targeting Nemesio Ruben Osguera Cervantes, also known as El Mencho, the head of the Jalisco New Generation cartel. They say Osguera Cervantes died while on an airlift to Mexico City. The State Department once had a $50 million award for his arrest.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. The Secret Service is investigating what happened at the Trump Mar-a-Lago, Florida estate early yesterday. A North Carolina man, Austin Martin, showed up with a shotgun and a fuel can, and Palm Beach County Sheriff Rick Bradshaw says when confronted,
he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the two Secret Service agents fired their weapons.
Martin was shot dead. President Trump was not there at the time. America's listening to Fox News.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Plumbers, today will be a good day. You will be profitable. Your clients will be nice. No one will stand over you and tell you how to fix the thing they actually hired you to fix. You will also feel at peace after switching to Progressive, America's #1 commercial auto insurer. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 commercial auto insurer from the NAIC's 2024 National Premium Data.
Sleep and relaxation just got smarter. The Z-Cliner by FlexSteel combines comfort with durable design, featuring custom adjustments like headrest, lumbar, heat, and massage, helping you unwind the right way. Whether you're watching TV or taking a well-earned break, Z-Cliner is built for you. Comfort, customization, and FlexSteel quality all in one chair. Experience the Z-Cliner by FlexSteel at Raymore and Flanagan.
Well, this bad weather across the Northeast is delaying Congress's return from break to deal with the stalemate that's left much of Homeland Security without funding. So essential workers there who have to stay on the job may miss paychecks.
The Senate was scheduled to do a roll call vote on the funding for the Department of Homeland Security funding this evening, but Senate GOP leadership postponed the vote until Tuesday evening. It comes after the House also postponed its Monday votes to Tuesday due to the nor'easter that's hitting the mid-Atlantic and northeastern regions of the U.S. Democrats are refusing to support funding for DHS unless reforms are made to federal immigration enforcement agencies like ICE and CBP. Deborah Valentine, Fox News.
Now, President Trump has put his global tariffs now up to 15%, raising them from the 10 he announced on Friday after the Supreme Court ruling against him, striking down most of his earlier tariffs in the decision that the president had exceeded his authority. Now, on Wall Street, stock futures are falling more than 100 points each for the Dow and the NASDAQ. Both had surged up more than 200 on Friday after that Supreme Court decision. The Olympics are over in Italy. The last event was an emotional one for Team USA on ice.
See you in 4 years in the French Alps. The 2026 Winter Games of Milan and Cortina, the 25th Winter Olympics, ended Sunday. Not before the United States men's hockey team won its first gold medal since the Miracle on Ice team of 1980 in Lake Placid, New York. The Americans beat Canada 2-1 in overtime on a goal by Jack Hughes, who earlier had teeth knocked out by a high stick and is now famously photographed as a gold medal winner with a bloody mouth and smile from ear to ear, along with his brother Quinn Hughes, who had scored the game-winning overtime goal in the quarterfinals against Sweden.
That's Jared Max. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
All right, we have cloudy skies, 24 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 7:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The Oneida Indian Nation recently announcing a record-breaking year for economic impact. They say 2025, with investments in capital projects, employees, and supply chain investments exceeded $855 million. Officials say these major investments grew by more than $150 million over 2024 and include more than $305 million in payroll, 401k retirement savings, and healthcare benefits for their workforce. Coming up later this hour, we will be joined by Joel Barkin, the VP of Communications and Community Engagement. Micron Technology says it will cover the full cost of an industrial wastewater treatment plant. Onondaga County Executive Ryan McMahon telling the Post-Standard that plant will process tens of millions of gallons of wastewater each day and cost at least $1 billion to build. The county will initially borrow money through bonds to build the plant, and then Micron would begin making payments as soon as they come due. The treatment plant in Clay would be the single most expensive project in Onondaga County's history. Some changes to parking and pickups in place at Syracuse Hancock International Airport. The overflow parking lot is closed ahead of construction for a new rental car facility. There's new parking areas for Air Cargo Road to offset that shutdown, and it's served by a free 24-hour shuttle service. Once construction begins, the arrivals B area next to the overflow lot will also close. All passenger pickups will be done at Arrivals A on the south side of the passenger terminal. Checking local gas prices, they are holding fairly steady right now. The average cost in central New York is $2.96. That's the same as last week, just a penny more than we were paying last month. Currently, the statewide average is at $3 a gallon, and nationally, it is at $2.93. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
Powerful nor'easter well out of our reach, but some flurry snow showers around this morning could coat the ground up to an inch in some spots. So could be some slick travel early. Other than that, clouds into the afternoon and about 30 degrees with a gusty breeze. Tonight, single digits down around 9. North Country colder, wind chills below 0. Mainly cloudy tomorrow, cold in the upper teens with a chance of snow tomorrow night until Wednesday. And then maybe a little rain mixing in the afternoon. 37 Wednesday's high. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Station, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We have cloudy skies and 24 degrees at 7:08. All right, in sports, a big weekend, I should say, for hockey. Obviously, the USA men capture gold at the Olympics. They beat Canada 2-1 in overtime, but there was a lot of hockey action here in the Utica area as well. The Pioneers wrapped up their regular season with a pair of victories over Chatham. On Friday night, they captured their 10th consecutive United Collegiate Hockey Conference Championship, 10 in a row for Utica, as they won in a shootout Friday night, then beat Chatham 10-3 on Saturday. The Pioneers end the regular season with a record of 17-7-1. They were 13-2-1 in conference play, and they are the top seed, of course, in the conference tournament. The Pioneers men will play on Saturday at the Adirondack Bank Center as the top seed in the semifinal round. The Utica Comets picking up a victory on Sunday as well, as they beat the Laval Rocket by a final of 3-1. In fact, it was a weekend that saw the Pioneers walk away with 5 points. They beat the Hartford Wolfpack 2-1 on Friday night, lost in a shootout Saturday, but skated to a 3-1 victory on Sunday afternoon. In fact, our man Smitty was there.
You said Pioneers. You mean Comets?
I'm sorry. The Comets earned 5 points this weekend. As I mentioned, the victory on Friday on the road, and then the shootout loss Saturday. They still got a point there, and a 3-1 victory on Sunday.
Yeah, they played pretty good.
Let's see here. The Celtics beat the Lakers last night. Sunday night basketball action. The final was 111-89. Not much of a game there. The Knicks beat the Bulls. Karl Anthony Towns had 28 points and 11 rebounds in a 105-99 win for the Knicks. Jalen Brunson also had 19 points. The Nets blew an 11-point fourth quarter lead as they lost to the Hawks 115-104. Syracuse basketball lost to UNC on Saturday. They are off until next Saturday when they take on Wake Forest. The Orange are now 15-13 on the season. And in spring training baseball, the Mets beat the Yankees yesterday, a final of 6-4. The Yankees will play the Pirates this afternoon while the Mets battle the Blue Jays.
Here's something interesting. Back-to-back winners in the NASCAR race. Tyler Reddick won the Daytona 500 last Sunday. Yesterday, he won the Echo Park 400 in Atlanta. He ended up kind of wrecked, took out the front corner panel of his car. He ended up winning the race.
No kidding.
2 weeks in a row. So 23X Racing, who is owned by Michael Jordan, is dominating the early season of NASCAR.
Smitty, you're pretty good at picking winners for the NASCAR races. Have you had the winner in the first two?
No.
How come?
Just my gut feeling.
You get hot. You're usually pulling the guy. Your driver usually finishes top 5 is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, my driver was dominating most of the race yesterday until he 15 laps, and I'll tell you, I'm a Ryan Blaney fan now that Jimmy Johnson's retired, but Ryan Blaney usually runs up in the top 5, top 2, but I didn't take Tyler Reddick.
It is 7:12. Bill has stepped aside here. Obviously, he had no voice, and he won't for a couple of days. So we continue on. We'll be joined by Joel Barkin from the United Nation coming up in about 10 minutes or so. Also in studio, set to be joined by Anthony Miccaroni. He is challenging Brian Miller for his assembly seat, and we'll also talk to Robert Smullen next hour about his campaign to replace Elise Stefanik for Congress. It is a Monday morning, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
We're your neighbors, friends, and your family. We care about our community, your business, and most important, you.
We support charities like the United Way, McMahon Ryan Child Advocacy Center. We are the members of IBEW Local 43 and NECA Contractors. You don't just see our work, you live it. From the JMA Wireless Dome, hospitals, schools, and city buildings, the IBEW is part of the community.
Central New York's future is bright, and the IBEW Local 43 and NECA will continue to help light, power, and grow Central New York.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary of American independence, the United States Mint is striking a groundbreaking American Silver Eagle coin. The 1776 to 2026 W American Silver Eagle is the first dual-dated coin in this series' history. Its inspiring dual date pays tribute to our nation's founding fathers, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the spirit of the American Revolution that lives on today in 2026. Now is your chance to get this first of its kind dual-dated American Silver Eagle in perfect proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, pre-sale slots are limited. With mintage of just 500,000 coins, this release is a true absolute rarity. Secure your 250th anniversary Silver Eagle now with Rare Collectibles TV exclusive pre-sale. Call 800-925-1544 now before they sell out. That's 800-925-1544. 800-925-1544.
Is your business the best at what you do? Then you should be a Central New York's industry ace. Our industry aces are made up of the best businesses in the region, and will help you tell your story to thousands of consumers in the Mohawk Valley. With a combination of on-air and online testimonial commercials, along with targeted social media ads that are guaranteed to reach the consumers you want to be talking to. And best of all, these messages are coming directly from you. Interested in learning more? Contact Megan Powers at 315-768-9500.
When people ask us who we are, we tell them we're problem solvers, opportunity creators, community builders, and change makers. We are Rotary. Around the world, our network of 1.4 million neighbors, friends, and leaders volunteer their skills, expertise, and resources to solve issues and address community needs. We are people of action. Join us, and together, we can make an even greater impact. Find out how you can get involved at rotary.org/action.
It's time for a Utica tradition, America's greatest Heart Run and Walk on March 7th. And on March 6th, it's the 55th anniversary of the WIBX Heart Radiothon. Sponsored by the Slocum-Dixon Medical Group this year, the Radiothon started when local runners honored the passing of WIBX personality Ralph Ellinger. They ran for 18 miles and raised money for the American Heart Association. Celebrate with us on March 6th. Hear from Slocum-Dixon doctors about ways to be healthy. Cheer on participants in the Treadmill Challenge and help fight heart disease.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Good morning, 7:16, a Monday morning, first news Keeler in the morning. Bill has stepped away here. He was obviously under the weather and did not sound good here this morning. So we continue on. Let's get to some comments. We actually have some recommendations if you have a sore throat. Appreciate those. Let's see. Matt in Holland Patton says, I really wish you would stop giving that ass Lance the time of day. The guy is a blank hat and deserves no attention. When you hide behind a screen, what you say or type means very little. Can we please find somebody else to replace that jerk? There was another word there. I won't mention it. Easy and Ilian. So do we want to talk about the Mamdani emergency snow shoveling application that has multiple pages and you must show 2 forms of ID? I thought that was racist, and I didn't think anybody could get an ID. Well, it is interesting. They are looking for they're saying volunteer shovelers, but I assume they need all this information because they're paying people. So if you're just volunteering, I don't understand why the city wouldn't give you a snow shovel and assign you somewhere. But that is pretty much true, Easy. You do need to show, I thought it was actually 3 forms of ID, that you needed to show a photo ID, have proof of address, things like that. That's a fair point. Mike in Utica, try throat coat tea. All of my vocalist friends swear by it. You can find it at any grocery store. So it's called throat coat. Not familiar with it, but thank you for the recommendation, Mike. Lance and Lee, tell Davey to go into the Frog Studio if he wants to talk about NASCAR. Are you upset by that? You let Lance get under your skin a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
Don't. It's not a big deal. Okay, and then also Lance says, after watching Councilwoman Aiello's latest video, hold on. After watching the latest video, I did my own research. There are 2 laborers who made well over $100,000. This is getting to city finances. It's no wonder the payroll is in the shape it's in. Jeff, apparently you should skip applying for the chief of staff job and just mow lawns for the city instead. He also has his own recommendation for Bill on the throat coat. He says olive oil and honey. But that's interesting. Yeah, if you can make $100,000 mowing lawns in the city of Utica, certainly I would go for it. Just a little background there. Lance keeps telling me He says, I've been here too long already. He thought I would be gone out the door again. And he kept telling me to apply for the chief of staff position in the city of Utica. We found out about a week ago, a week and some change, that position has been filled. As a matter of fact, when Mayor Galimi joined us on the program, he talked about Val Bialis and he talked about the city budget. And Lance had asked a question about the chief of staff position, and he mentioned that it had been filled and they were looking to fill another vacancy in his administration.
Becky is the new chief of staff.
Thank you. I thank you for pulling that because I didn't pull that off the top of my head. Paul Anka, that's what he uses. Olive oil and honey. He's almost 100 and still working. So there you go. Bill's concoction today, did he say it was honey, hot water, and apple cider vinegar?
Yep.
I've never heard of the apple cider vinegar use. I've got to check that out. I've heard of it for weight loss. I've heard, I don't know if this is an old wives' tale, but people would say, take a shot of apple cider vinegar before you go to bed, and it helps burn calories while you sleep. At least that's what they claim on the internets. Let's see here. A list of famous men who are the same age includes Macaulay Culkin and Ryan Gosling at 45 years old, Snoop Dogg and Elon Musk at 54, and Jeff Bezos and Brad Pitt at 62. Now, I'm going to do my best to pull this off on the radio because obviously if you can show current photos of these guys, I think it's more impactful. But somebody did a study essentially comparing how some of our more famous men in the country are aging. They can include Guy Fieri and Gavin Newsom, who are both 58. Let's see, Macaulay Culkin, Ryan Gosling, and Pitbull are all 45 years old. Leonardo DiCaprio, he is starting to age, though. For a long time, he seemed to go ageless. But he's the same age as Steve-O from Jackass, they're both 51. I think there's a significant difference in those two. Prince Harry is the same age as J.D. Vance. Both are 41. Paul McCartney, who still performs at 83, is the same age as former President Joe Biden. I mean, look at the difference there. Also, Snoop Dogg, who looks like he hasn't aged in 20 years, is the same age. He and Elon Musk are both 54. And let's see, Rob Lowe and Keanu Reeves are both 61 years old. And I apologize because that's a better bit on television than it is on the radio. It is 7:21. We're set to be joined by Joel Barkin from the United Indian Nation coming up in a couple of minutes here. Eric Dane's widow, Rebecca Gayhart, issued a statement on his passing yesterday saying, quote, "I am so blown away by the outpouring of love and support from our community. There aren't words to express our gratitude. You are truly holding us up during this difficult time." Also acknowledging Eric's death was his girlfriend, Janelle Shirtcliffe. She posted some pictures and video of the two of them on her Instagram stories. Eric married Rebecca in 2004. They have two daughters, 14 and 15. They separated in 2018, but called off their divorce last March after Eric was diagnosed with ALS. In an interview at the time, she said she planned to show up for Eric in order to be a role model for their daughters. And while they'd been separated for years, she said they were still best of friends. Speaking of Eric and his daughters, he offered some life advice for an upcoming episode of the Netflix show Famous Last Words. He said, quote, "I tried. I stumbled sometimes, but I tried. Overall, we had a blast, didn't we?" So obviously, the heartfelt remembrances continue to pour in for Eric Dane. We'll take a quick time out and come back. We'll be joined by Joel Barkin from the United Nation. It's Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley Mattress Express's President's Day sale is on from upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. No one else in New York State has all the brands under one roof that we do. And right now, save up to $1,350 on names like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, Therapeutic, Simmons Beauty Rest, Black Certa, iComfort, Avocado, and more. A full line of spa-grade massage chairs take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans. In Rome, on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. In Oneida, in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS. Don't overpay for your next mattress. Come to upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express.
Hurt in a car? Call William Mattar. 315-444-4444.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show. The Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
There's nearly 678,290,000 kids under 5 around the world. But what's so important about being 5? A lot, it turns out. Children who live to age 5 are twice as likely to reach adulthood. That's why vaccines matter so much. For 40 years, Rotary and partners have delivered vaccines globally. Like here, and even here. Impressive, right? But 12.5 million children are still totally unvaccinated. Rotary knows we can find them. Because when Rotary and Indian vaccinators looked for families at bus and train stations, used motorbikes, and trekked house to house, they lowered polio cases by 94%. See, it can be done, and the results are worth it. Let's ensure that all children grow up safe from preventable diseases.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
No Keeler. Bill is under the weather. And he stepped out. Obviously, was dealing with something last week. And if you heard him in the first hour here this morning, he sounded terrible. So Bill is off here for today and probably tomorrow as well. I've got some interesting audio here for you. Obviously, President Trump's tariffs were struck down by the Supreme Court last week, as I'm trying to connect this cord here. So, a prank caller, somebody with a really good impression of President Trump, called into C-SPAN under the name John Barron, which is allegedly a name that Trump himself has used before when he's wanted to get some press for himself, but not be attributed as the one saying it. So there's this John Barron persona. So this guy calls into C-SPAN, is John Barron, and you have to listen. He's got a great Trump impression. Is that up? Am I up there? Oh, hang on one second. Here we go.
John in Virginia, Republican. Let's hear from you.
Well, this is John Barron. Look, this is the worst decision you've ever had in your life, practically. Jack's going to agree with me, right? This is a terrible decision. And you have Hakeem Jeffries. He's a dope. And you have Chuck Schumer, who can't cook a cheeseburger. Of course these people are happy. But true Americans will not be happy. And you have the woman earlier. I assume she's a woman. She's a Democrat. But she's devastated.
All right,
by
John.
this.
We'll go to Chester, Democratic caller.
I think they realized at some point either it was a prank or that it was Trump himself. That is a great impression, though. Even the breathing was certainly on point. Smitty, did you know that today is National Tootsie Roll Day? I don't know if anybody cares, and I don't know how they get these designations.
I still eat Tootsie Rolls once in a while.
Yeah, sure, they're good. They're
Remember
one
that
of the...
song, Tootsie Roll?
No.
They used to have a song.
Oh,
Tootsie Roll.
Yeah, it was cotton candy, sweet and something.
Yeah.
Let me see that Tootsie Roll. Did you used to play that song quite a bit? I bet. There was a time, I guess, in your part-time job where you probably played that song quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's the end of an era. Mr. Clean, as Bill mentioned last hour, is officially retiring. This is obviously a promotional stunt. Whoever they based Mr. Clean off probably died several years ago. But here is what the company is saying.
It's true. Mr. Clean has announced his retirement. After a career with 0 stains on the record, he's ready for new adventures. But don't worry, his products will continue to be available to support all your cleaning needs. What's next for Mr. Clean?
Sounds like a total AI commercial. As a matter of fact, I can't remember the guy's name because I think it was a one and done appearance. He sounds like for Monday Night Football, they had a guy on the sidelines a couple years ago. I have to pull the audio because it just sounds like rambling, but that sounds like an AI clip. I don't know if that's an actual advertisement or not, but apparently the latest promotional stunt is that Mr. Clean is retiring. And as we head toward the update here at the bottom of the hour, we'll play you some audio. This was the excitement. First time in 46 years, Team USA captures the gold medal in the men's hockey final. Oh, I thought this was the final. No, it's not.
46 years
There
ago
it is.
today in Lake Placid, the miracle on ice. And the United States team with an opportunity here in Milan to win the gold medal for the first time since. And this game will head to sudden death overtime. Puck lines up behind the net. Block across it comes. Jeff Hughes wins it. The golden goal for the United States to defeat Canada. For the first time since the 1980 miracle, the United States takes the gold.
Obviously, a very exciting way to start your Sunday off there yesterday. And that's Kenny Albert, if I'm not mistaken. Right now, I have to tell you, my personal...
That old Chuck.
Kenny Albert does some NFL stuff, and I don't think he's great doing the NFL, at least compared to the guys that are out there. I don't have him as like a top 5. But I thought he was outstanding calling the hockey games.
Yeah, he does. He's the new voice of the New York Rangers. He took over for Sam Rosen when Sam Rosen retired this past year.
Yeah,
Great job.
A lot of energy in his calls on the hockey surface. Don't love him as an NFL guy. Anyway,
he's very dry on football.
Yeah, and I'll leave it at that.
Could you imagine if that was Kevin Harlan doing the radio, the play-by-play?
The game winning. I can't do it here this morning.
I love Kevin Harlan, especially when he does football.
Yeah, Harlan's good on the NFL. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll have an update and your free money question of the day coming up. It is First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show. The Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
We have cloudy skies and 24 degrees at 7:33. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. A blustery morning in parts of the Northeast this morning as a powerful winter storm targets the region. The National Weather Service says the combination of heavy snow, strong winds, and coastal flooding might cause impossible travel conditions and power outages over the northern mid-Atlantic and Northeast through the day. Snowfall totals for New York City and Boston could be in the 2-foot range by the end of this morning. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum is calling for calm after the killing of cartel leader El Mencho. He was killed by the Mexican army in an operation over the weekend. Sheinbaum said in a statement, "There is absolute coordination with the government of all states. We must remain informed and calm." All 9 victims' bodies have been recovered from the site of a deadly California avalanche. In addition to the 9 victims, 6 people survived last Tuesday's avalanche in a backcountry ski area near Lake Tahoe. The late Reverend Jesse Jackson will be remembered this week with services in 3 cities. Jackson's civil rights organization, the Rainbow Push Coalition, has announced that the former presidential candidate will lie in state at the group's headquarters in Chicago beginning this Thursday, with a people's celebration happening on Friday. Memorial services for Jackson will also be held in early March in Washington, D.C. and South Carolina. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals says Louisiana public schools can put up the 10 Commandments in classrooms immediately. The court ruled against the ACLU on Friday, about a month after the entire bench heard oral arguments in the case. And the TSA, Transportation Security Administration, is keeping pre-check airport passenger screening in place for now. The decision comes after an earlier announcement Sunday that the faster security screening service would be paused because of the partial government shutdown. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:35. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Powerful nor'easter well out of our reach, but some flurry snow showers around this morning could coat the ground up to an inch in some spots, so could be some slick travel early. Other than that, clouds into the afternoon and about 30 degrees with a gusty breeze. Tonight, single digits down around 9. North Country colder, wind chills below 0. Mainly cloudy tomorrow, cold in the upper teens with a chance of snow tomorrow night until Wednesday. And then maybe a little rain mixing in the afternoon. 37 Wednesday's high. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Station, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies, 24 degrees at 7:35.
Utica and the Mohawk Valley Mattress Express's President's Day sale is on from upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer. No one else in New York State has all the brands under one roof that we do. And right now, save up to $1,350 on names like Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh & Lavish, Therapeutic, Simmons Beauty Rest, Black Serta, iComfort, Avocado, and more. A full line of spa-grade massage chairs take up to 5 years to pay with no money down for qualified buyers and no credit check payment plans. In Rome, on Black River Boulevard in the Black River Plaza. In Oneida, in the Glenwood Plaza by the movie theaters. In New Hartford on Commercial Drive next to Pet Supplies Plus. Go to mattressexpressny.com. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS. Don't overpay for your next mattress. Come to upstate New York's largest specialty bedding retailer, Mattress Express.
At Mohawk Valley Health System, nursing is more than a career. It's a calling.
I just love the family environment. Everyone's so helpful, so encouraging. Everyone here is amazing.
Whether you're starting your journey or ready to grow, MVHS offers competitive pay, career development, and a place to belong.
Everybody wants you to succeed, and I feel like the patients and families also feel that as well. My team helps me grow here.
Mohawk Valley Health System. Change lives, starting with yours. At Mohawk Valley Health System, we're investing in nurses like never before.
Working at the Wynn Hospital in the OR has given me the opportunity to not only enhance my critical thinking skills, but also my autonomy.
With competitive new rates, career development programs, and a culture built on support.
I love the team that I work with on the 7th floor.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I'm not just part of a team, I'm part of a family.
You'll grow your nursing career with great pay, a supportive team, and real opportunities.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I can find my niche and grow.
Change lives, starting with yours.
Warner Sales and Service, building relationships, building trust.
According to Punxsutawney Phil, winter is here to stay. Here in Central New York, we just never know what to expect. Bobcat equipment can keep you working through whatever Mother Nature sends our way. Bobcat machines, including skid steer loaders, track loaders, and excavators, are fast, maneuverable, and deliver plenty of traction for working in deep snow or mud. In all kinds of weather, Bobcat machines deliver low ground disturbance, excellent traction, impressive pushing power, and a smooth ride for all-day working comfort. So whether it's snow or mud that won't quit, you won't have to quit either thanks to Bobcat. Push it to the limit with Bobcat machines and attachments from Warner Sales and Service. If you haven't been to see them, take a ride today. They're easy to find and anxious to meet you just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona on the Greenway New London Road.
Warner's, where quality still counts at Warner's.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Is your business the best at what you do? Then you should be a Central New York's Industry Ace. Our Industry Aces are made up of the best businesses in the region, and will help you tell your story to thousands of consumers in the Mohawk Valley. With a combination of on-air and online testimonial commercials, along with targeted social media ads that are guaranteed to reach the consumers you want to be talking to. And best of all, these messages are coming directly from you. Interested in learning more? Contact Megan Powers at 315-768-9500.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it is First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. In just a minute, we'll be joined by Anthony Miccaroni. He's the new challenger in the 122nd District, running against incumbent Brian Miller. We've got our free money question of the day up next. Smitty, how much today?
$150.
All right, $150, and we're taking caller...
Caller, make it easy on me. Caller 4.
Caller 4, 315-736-0186. We'll do it right now. So, Smitty, you can go ahead and jump on that again. Caller number 4. Want to remind everybody that the River Valley Church in Ilion is hosting a shoe drive this weekend on Saturday the 28th. They're asking that you donate gently worn or new shoes to help the homeless in the area. Again, the drop-off date is this Saturday, February 28th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. The location for the drop-off is 8 2nd Street in Ilion. Donated shoes will be sent overseas, and all proceeds will support RVC's outreach program for the homeless. Again, so these are being sent overseas. River Valley Church, shoe drive, gently worn or new shoes to help the homeless. The happening on this Saturday, February 28th. One more time, the drop-off is 8 2nd Street in Ilion. So, if you can help out, you're being asked to help out.
Got our qualifier.
Who do we have on the line?
Shelby from Rome.
Hey, Shelby, how are you?
Good, Jeff. How you doing?
Pretty good. Are you a football fan?
Yes.
I gave the answer to this question earlier this morning. We were talking about the Team USA Olympic victory in men's hockey, 2-1 final in overtime on Sunday. Some were critical, President Trump among them, that the MVP award went to a Canadian player, obviously on the losing team. We were talking about how often or how rare that would be here in the United States. So your question is, there was only one player in NFL history to win Super Bowl MVP on the losing team. Name that player. Ready, go.
He was a defensive lineman from, I can't remember the team.
Unfortunately, we're out of time there. It was Chuck Howley, a linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys. He earned the Super Bowl MVP honors in Super Bowl V. We'll take a break first, Smitty. In Super Bowl V in 1971, 2 interceptions and a forced fumble. But despite that, the Cowboys lost to the Baltimore Colts, a final of 16-13. So we're not going to send you away empty-handed, though. We have a family 4-pack to the 2026 Spring New York State RV Show. It's happening at the State Fairgrounds March 5th through the 8th. Dealers include Burdick's RV Center, Myers RV Superstores, Oak Hill, 7 O's. Tickets are online or at the door. Half price at the door, $7. But you got a free 4-pack, and that's happening March 5th through the 8th at the New York State Fairgrounds. Hang on the line, and our man Smitty will take care of you.
Thanks, Jeff. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too. A quick 2 minutes. We'll come back with Assembly candidate Anthony Miccaroni, who is challenging Brian Miller for his Assembly seat.
Megan, why is everybody whispering K4? Like it's a secret.
Because it's the 2025 Kia K4EX lease deal.
The one with zero do-it inception?
Yup. Just $328 a month for 36 months.
Okay. Say the magic part.
Even sales tax included.
Sweet. Fun to drive and no surprise math. That's a powerful combo.
It's how we make vehicles affordable.
Make that short drive to save.
Go cookie for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
Stock number 25F0951. MSRP 25515. 36 months, 30,000-mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. 0 due at inception. 0 security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. 720 plus FICO score. Offer expires 3/2/2026.
Destination Kia.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Tallman's Tire and Auto Service, family owned and operated since 1980. Tallman's is proud to provide trusted, professional auto care to our community. From brake repairs and New York State inspections to check engine light diagnostic to four-wheel alignments, Tallman's Tire and Auto Service accept all aftermarket warranties, and they specialize in fleet vehicles, accepting all fleet maintenance programs. When your vehicle needs attention, you can count on them to get you back on the road quickly and safely. Save time and money. Schedule your appointment today at tallmanstire.com.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Back here, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Manaski here, sitting and holding down the fort. And we have a guest in studio, Anthony Miccaroni, who is a new challenger in the 122nd Assembly District. He's going to be in a primary against incumbent Brian Miller. Good morning. How are you? Oh, you know what? Hang on one second. I apologize, Anthony. Smithy's running around doing 6 jobs like he typically does. And thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. He had to turn your mic on there.
Yeah, that does generally help.
Yes. Yes, it would be a very one-sided interview for sure. So tell me about yourself. You're a young guy.
I'm 30 years old.
30?
So,
and where are you from?
I was raised in Canastota. I currently live with my wife and daughter in New Hartford.
In New Hartford. And why do you want to run for the New York State Assembly?
Because I had a daughter, I had a goddaughter, and I want to give them a better republic than the one our fathers gave us.
Was there a particular issue or a circumstance you found yourself in life where you said somebody's got to change this, or I'm sick of not having, accountability or action for the things that a young guy raising a family would want to focus on?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you remember George Santos.
Yeah.
Yeah, Republican from Long Island. Lied about his education, lied about his career, lied about being a volleyball player of all things.
Yeah, lied about a lot of stuff.
Lied about everything. And then they found out he lied, and he got to serve his 2 years in Congress. Because lying to the people when you're running for office is not illegal.
Correct.
Yeah. If you lie to the government, that's called perjury. That's called obstruction of justice. That's called 5 to 10. But when people who want to run the government lie to you, that's just good business. It's ridiculous. It's utterly absurd.
Yeah, so I think I'm looking here on your website, by the way. It's Miccaroni for Assembly, the number 4 assembly.com, if you want to check this out yourself. But one of your issues is make it illegal for candidates to knowingly lie to the public. Lying to voters should not be legal. Candidates who knowingly deceive the public to gain office should face real consequences. Closing a loophole that undermines trust in elections. Now, I have to tell you, this would be extremely difficult to enforce. I think in spirit, I'm with you. We want to hold our politicians to a higher standard, but I mean, I don't know how you would enforce this. When you say knowingly lie.
So knowingly lie, high standard.
You run
high
on
burden of proof.
Platform of, I'm going to reduce taxes in New York State. Now, despite your efforts, let's say the opposing party, whether you're Democrat or Republican, you run on a platform that includes that. The opposing party doesn't sign on with you, doesn't pass your bill or take up your measure, or maybe the governor vetoes it. So it's gone nowhere. So you've lied. You've said, I'm going to promise to lower taxes, but you haven't lowered taxes. Would that be considered a lie?
No, not in the way that I intend to write the law. The way I intend to write the law, it'll be things that you know to be an absolute truth for a fact. Campaign promises would fall under free speech, obviously. You know, these are things that you want to do, you want to achieve.
Yeah.
And there's obviously a degree of everyone understands when I say, for instance, one of my platforms I talk on there is I support nuclear energy. I want to get nuclear energy, more integrated into the state. If I can't deliver on that, though, everyone understands that's something I'm trying to accomplish. Versus something with George Santos, which is he knew he didn't have a degree from NYU. He knew he didn't have an MBA. That's a knowing lie. And there's ways to qualify in the legislation to make it clear what exactly qualifies as a knowing lie.
So this is, again, a good-hearted, I think the intent is a good one. I just don't know. I mean, politicians not lying or deceiving, I think. Would we even recognize America if the politicians weren't lying and deceiving?
We probably recognize about 10% of America.
So I think that's well-intentioned, but I don't know. I don't know if that would go anywhere or be enforceable. But again, you say the way you would write the legislation would have specifics in there that would characterize what's a lie and what's not. You're also calling for term limits. Career politicians often remain in office for decades, protected by incumbency rather than accountability.
Correct. Yeah, we have people in the state assembly who were elected before I was born.
Not your opponent, though.
Not my opponent. My opponent's been in office for either 8 or 10 years, I think.
Mm-hmm.
By politics standards, my opponent's a fairly young guy. I think he's in his mid-60s.
He might be a little younger than that, but he's not 30.
He's not 30, no. So yeah, I want to make it so that we have term limits on politicians. The good ones will move up. So if you're in the assembly, and on my website, I think I have a few examples. People like William Colton. He's from New York City. He was elected in the 90s. He's going to sit there until he dies or until he's just physically unable to do the job. And it's ridiculous. The people are losing representation.
Of course, the counter argument to this is, look, they're up for election every 2 years in the assembly, and an opponent like yourself can come forward and challenge the incumbent. And if the people aren't happy, they're
sure.
The counter to term limits is that you have a term limit every 2 years.
Mm-hmm. And after 30 years of him fundraising, he's got a war chest to crush challengers. And also, incumbency bias is 15% on statistical average for the primaries. 15% is more than any popular vote presidential election in since, I think, Reagan. It's a margin that's huge by the standards. So, okay, 15% in the primary, 10% in the general election.
Okay.
If you have a situation where, let's say it's 60% Democrat and like 10% Independent, 30% Republican. The primary is all that matters then. Because if you win the primary, you're going to win the general election. There's just too many of one side or the other in the way.
Well, I don't think that's fair. What is your example with the 60%, 30, and 10?
So let's say there's 60% of one political party in a region.
Yeah.
So if you win the primary for that, you're basically guaranteed to win the general.
Well, you're not guaranteed. Some people cross over. They think the other candidate is better. But how do you change that? Everybody's, for instance, in any municipality, Utica, there's more Democrats than Republicans. In New York State, certainly there's more Democrats than there is Republicans. But you can't change that.
No, we're not trying to change that. What we're trying to do is make elections competitive. If you put a term limit in, let's say they get 8 years in the assembly, and then they can run for New York State Senate. 8 years is a long time to be held in office, and then to go to a higher office as well for another 8 years, and then maybe go to Congress after that. People can stay in politics for a long time in a system like that.
Yeah, no, they can, but so what you're describing is this, and some politicians do that, but not all, this graduated system where almost like assembly is entry level, Senate is mid-grade, and then you're talking about advancing to Congress. I don't think that's what I don't know that that's a good thing. Always looking to move up the ladder instead of serving your constituents. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure, obviously. But at a certain point, when there's so many elections going on, people don't know who their assemblyman is. I've talked to so many people in the district, and a lot of them were saying, "Oh, what are you running for? Oh, what is assembly? Who's my person now? Is there an incumbent?" They don't know.
So how would you change that? I don't understand.
Well,
it's on the individual to.
My point is
yeah.
that giving term limits gives competitiveness back to our elections. Currently, a lot of our state elections are not competitive because these people get in office. They've got the support of the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, so they stay in office, and they stay in office for 30 years. 30 years in a single office? How much good are they doing at that point?
Look, that's a fair point. You could make an argument that you do amass some power and are maybe a better advocate for your district. But again, what you're talking about, the circumstance you're outlining, isn't what we see in your own district. I think Brian Miller's not a first or second term assembly member, but he hasn't been there for 30 years.
I think it's like 8 or 10, one of the two. I can't remember.
Under the proposal that you kind of outlined here when we're talking about term limits, are you saying you would bring forth a bill that if you're in the assembly or the state legislature, you would be capped at 8 years?
Yes.
And that's, you saying one term or four 2-year terms?
4 2-year terms.
4 2-year terms. Okay.
Well, I do think the 2-year terms are an issue because, as you said, people are just constantly campaigning. That's part of the New York State Constitution, I believe, and that's much harder to change.
But that's true. In itself, though, you don't see that as a term limit being up every 2 years. I understand the incumbent has an advantage, but
the incumbent has a huge advantage.
All right. Common sense safeguards in AI. Mm-hmm. I'm actually surprised more is not being done about this, but talk about what you'd like to handle when it comes to artificial intelligence in New York.
Yeah. So, I mean, AI terrifies me in a lot of ways. It's getting harder and harder for me. And I like to think of myself as a tech savvy guy, but I'm having trouble understanding when I see something, okay, is that real or is that fake? I've seen national news outlets pick up AI-generated stories because even they can't tell the difference. So what I think we need is some water stamps on anything that's AI-generated, video, image, or audio file. Something with a watermark to be able to say, okay, this is in fact AI-generated. Also, I think the onus should be on public figures and corporations who display AI-generated material to disclose that it is AI-generated material.
Yeah, I'm with you on this. Here's from your website. Technology should serve the public, not control it. Anthony supports basic safeguards that protect civil liberties, require transparency in AI-generated content, and prevent government misuse of emerging technologies. You're not necessarily saying they can't or shouldn't be able to use it. You're just saying there has to be some identifier on there so that the people consuming it or referring to it know that it's fake, it's yes. Auto-generated, AI-generated.
Effectively, yes.
Lower taxes and the cost of living. Talk more about that. The affordability issue is something that both Democrats and Republicans talk a lot about. I don't know that either is doing a ton about it.
Yeah, so number one, the electric bill is too high. Man, as I said before, I'm a huge proponent of nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is safe, it's efficient, it's the only energy source other than fossil fuel that is not dependent on either the wind blowing or the sun shining or something like that. So if you're going to go green, nuclear energy is the only way to go. Also, nuclear energy provides great paying jobs to the community that's in. I would be completely fine having a nuclear power plant in my backyard.
This is something Governor Kathy Hochul has talked about and is something that looks like she wants to move forward on. I do think, certainly, my opinion is irrelevant here, but it's a supply and demand situation, and we certainly need more power in the state of New York. All right, Anthony, give us the breakdown again where people can get more information about you. It's macaroni4assembly.com. Macaroni, the number 4assembly.com. But you're in a primary against Brian Miller. Where can we read more about you?
So obviously there's my website. I'm going to be going, petition time's around the corner. It starts tomorrow. So I'm going to be knocking on a lot of doors in the next month. Besides from that, those would be the main two places, really.
Right.
I have a Facebook as well, Anthony Macaroni as a public figure. And I'll be getting YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, all the rest, Twitter, and coming shortly.
Anthony is a Republican challenging incumbent Republican Brian Miller. Smitty, I need an out time here. I keep looking over your shoulder because there's a clock on that wall, and I'm trying to hit an out time. Talk about endorsements real quick before we let you go. I wrote that down and
Sure.
skipped over it. What county endorsements have you gotten?
None.
Oh, you haven't gotten any?
Nope.
And how many counties encompass the 122nd?
4. It is Madison, but the northern half of Madison, Oneida, which is the southern half of Oneida, 2 townships in Herkimer, and then part of Otsego County. It kind of just a string of townships going down to Oneonta. Map looks gerrymandered because it is.
Yeah, I'm sure that it is. Have all 4 endorsed your opponent?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Yeah, so it's going to be an uphill battle for sure. All right, Anthony, we appreciate you coming in to talk about some issues. We've got a news update coming at the top of the hour here. It is First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. Throwing a 30 here. All right, we're back after this.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Ben Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G coverage. What? Franklin wasn't even a president. Hang on to those Benjamins. Dial pound 250, say micro, and save 50% off your first month. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to an American wireless company that's truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Tate Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now
Millions of Americans are stuck on inside riding a storm out. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The snow is really coming down, and those snowfall totals continue to pile up. We are going to surpass 2 feet before this is all said and done, at least in some locations.
Fox meteorologist Adam Klotz. It's a blizzard from parts of Delaware to Maine with almost hurricane-force wind gusts.
Here in Boston, we're expecting anywhere from 1 to 2 feet of a heavy, wet snow to fall, and that is going to be coupled with some strong winds. Across the state, we're expecting anywhere from 50 to 75 mile-per-hour wind gusts, and when you put those things together, it is just going to exacerbate our issues with power outages, which just continue to grow this morning.
Fox Weather's Melanie Black. Massachusetts has the most power outages so far, well over 100,000. There are about 500,000 homes and businesses without electricity. Virginia and Maryland on up. And while people are staying off the roads, the travel issues spread far beyond. Flights to and from the Northeast grounded.
Here in the nation's capital, the problem is no different. Hundreds of flights already just today. New York and Boston are much worse. New York airports just this morning experiencing thousands of cancellations. Boston looking just as bad.
Fox Business Network's Connor Hansen at Washington's Reagan National. The Secret Service is investigating the breach at the Trump Mar-a-Lago, Florida estate, where the North Carolina man showed up with a gas can and a shotgun, which the Palm Beach sheriff says Austin Martin raised toward a deputy and agents, and then he was shot and killed.
Martin was reported missing by his family yesterday at 1:38 in the morning. The timing of this report from his relative is notable because, according to authorities, Martin entered Mar-a-Lago at 1:30 a.m. What communication his family had with him or knowledge about his plans is still unclear. His cousin told the Associated Press that Martin's behavior was shocking, that he came from a family of avid Trump supporters and was even afraid of guns.
Fox's Dana Marie McNichol in West Palm Beach. President Trump was not there at the time. America's listening to Fox News.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Plumbers, today will be a good day. You will be profitable. Your clients will be nice. No one will stand over you and tell you how to fix the thing they actually hired you to fix. You will also feel at peace after switching to Progressive, America's #1 commercial auto insurer. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. #1 commercial auto insurer from the NAIC's 2024 National Premium Data.
Sleep and relaxation just got smarter. The Z-Cliner by FlexSteel combines comfort with durable design, featuring custom adjustments like headrest, lumbar, heat, and massage, helping you unwind the right way. Whether you're watching TV or taking a well-earned break, Z-Cliner is built for you. Comfort, customization, and FlexSteel quality all in one chair. Experience the Z-Cliner by FlexSteel at Raymore and Flanagan.
A rant from President Trump this morning on Truth Social. After raising his new global tariffs to 15% over the weekend following Friday's Supreme Court ruling, striking down most of his earlier tariffs, the president wrote, They accidentally and unwittingly gave him far more powers and strength than he had prior, that he can use licenses to do absolutely terrible things to foreign countries that have been ripping us off for decades. Democratic Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro tells ABC's This Week.
We've seen now that the president was acting outside his legal authority. By the way, not a new thing for him as someone who's had to take him to court 19 times as governor. The thing about the tariffs is he's doing it in a way that is hurting the American people, hurting our farmers, hurting consumers, hurting our small businesses.
On Wall Street, stock futures are falling more than 200 points for the Dow ahead of the opening bell this morning. The Winter Olympics are over, with the U.S. finishing second in the medal count, 33, behind the leader Norway. The last one was gold on ice. Team USA beat Canada 2-1 in overtime in the men's hockey final. And while Jack Hughes scored the game-winning goal, goalie Connor Hellebuyck made 41 saves in the win.
Connor was part of the foundation of this group from the get-go.
That is U.S. coach Mike Sullivan. It was even more emotional as the players celebrated, skating around the ice in Italy with American flags draped over them. Some held up Johnny Gaudreau's jersey, honoring an American player who was killed by a drunk driver while riding a bike with his brother in 2024. And then for the gold medal team photo, they went up and got Gaudreau's young children from the crowd to join them. Johnny Gaudreau's sister, Katie, tells Fox.
It truly meant the world to us. Because honestly, this is what John wanted for his children. He wanted them to experience these experiences, these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities that he worked so hard for.
This was the first U.S. men's hockey gold medal since 1980. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
All right, we have mostly cloudy skies, 24 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. The United Indian Nation recently announcing a record-breaking economic impact for 2025, with investments in capital projects, employees, and supply chain exceeding $855 million. Officials say those major investments grew by more than $150 million over 2024 and included over $305 million in payroll, 401k retirement savings, and health care benefits for its workforce. Officials also say year over year, the nation increased its capital expenditures by 73%, growing spending with New York State vendors by more than 40% and raising overall vendor spending by approximately 30%. Micron Technology is going to be covering the full cost of an industrial wastewater treatment plant. Onondaga County's executive Ryan McMahon telling the Post-Standard the plant will process tens of millions of gallons of wastewater each day and cost at least $1 billion. The county will initially borrow money through bonds to build the plant, and Micron would begin making payments as soon as they come due. The treatment plant in Clay would be the single most expensive project in county history. Local drivers paying a little bit, actually about the same to fill up their vehicles. In fact, AAA says the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel right now is $2.96. It's unchanged over the past week and a penny more than we were paying 1 month ago. Currently, the state average is $3 a gallon. Nationally, it is at $2.93. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time, 8:07. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
Powerful nor'easter well out of our reach, but some flurry snow showers around this morning could coat the ground up to an inch in some spots, so could be some slick travel early. Other than that, clouds into the afternoon and about 30 degrees with a gusty breeze. Tonight, single digits down around 9. North Country colder, wind chills below 0. Mainly cloudy tomorrow, cold in the upper teens with a chance of snow tomorrow night until Wednesday. And then maybe a little rain mixing in the afternoon. 37 Wednesday's high. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Station, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We have cloudy skies and 24 degrees at 8:08. All right, in sports, a lot of hockey. The U.S. men win the gold medal, 2-1 the final over Canada in overtime yesterday morning. Team USA closes out 2026, the Winter Games, with a historic victory, their first gold medal for the U.S. men since 1980. It is the third time in Olympic history the American men are on top of the podium. In the end, the U.S. finished the Olympics with the second highest total medal count with 33. They also earned the second most gold medals with 12. Norway paced the rest of the nations with 18 gold and 41 total medals. Locally, the Utica Pioneers captured their 10th consecutive conference title as they won the UCHC on Friday night. They beat Chatham in a shootout to capture their 10th consecutive conference title. Then they came back to beat Chatham 10-3 on Saturday afternoon. That wraps up the regular season for the Pioneers. Up next, the UCHC Men's Championship Tournament. The Pioneers get a first-round bye. They will host action at the Adirondack Bank Center coming up on Saturday night at 7 o'clock. The Utica Comets also had a very productive weekend with 5 total points. They won on Friday, lost in a shootout Saturday to earn a point, and then skated to a 3-1 victory on Sunday. In the NBA, the Knicks beat the Bulls 105-99. Karl Anthony Towns led all scorers with 28 points. The Nets blew an 11-point fourth-quarter lead to the Atlanta Hawks as they fall 115-104. Michael Porter Jr. led the team with 18 points in scoring. Syracuse basketball lost on Saturday. They're now 15-13 on the season. Up next, they'll take on Wake Forest on Saturday night. And some preseason baseball. The Mets beat the Yankees 6-4. The Mets will take on the Blue Jays today, and the Bombers face the Pirates. Did I miss anything, Smitty? It is 8:10. A busy morning. I've got some council stuff I think I can go over here. As long as this computer is going to work, stay tuned. Katie Aiello in the basement of City Hall. I don't know. There was a memo sent out on this. I'll fill you in if I can get into this paperwork here. It's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
80 years ago in Little Falls, a dream was built, one board at a time. Through hard work, honesty, and a commitment to doing things the right way, that dream became 3 generations strong. A lot has changed over the past 8 decades, but our promise remains the same. Quality materials and personal service you can count on. Thank you to our customers for 80 incredible years. Little Falls Lumber, built on trust since day one, and we look forward to serving you in the future.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
Italian subs for your finance team at Chicago. Easy Cater. Burritos for your call center crew in Plano. Easy Cater. Bagels for your sales reps meeting clients in Charlotte. Easy Cater. Hot chicken sandwiches for your third shift warehouse workers in Memphis. Easy Cater. Your teams may be spread out across the country, but you've got one platform to feed them all, whenever and wherever they work, with food they love from favorite restaurants. Easy Cater. Food for the workplace, all in one place. Order now at easycater.com.
There's no championship league for small business owners, but if there was, you'd be at the top of the standings. Because going pro with Lenovo Pro means you've got the winning formation, one-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors help you stay ahead of the competition. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. Embarrassed by ugly yellow toe fungus?
Living with toe fungus it's embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off. I hid my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody.
Introducing Crystal Flush. Crystal Flush is the only FDA-registered 2-in-1 home treatment that attacks your toe fungus from both the inside and out. Crystal Flush's new and different combination system knocks out toe fungus for good. Guaranteed.
Crystal Flush is different. After just a few weeks, my fungus was gone. I mean, 100% disappeared. Crystal Flush was the only thing that ever worked. So if you're skeptical because you tried a bunch of other stuff, Crystal Flush is different. This is a game changer.
Crystal Flush is now available without a prescription, but it is not available in stores. Get your risk-free supply today. Go to crystalflush.com. That's CRYSTAL flush.com. Stop being embarrassed by ugly yellow toenails. Go to crystalflush.com or call 800-204-4484.
Hey, it's your radio buddy Jimmy Fallon, host of Fox Across America. We're talking politics, pop culture, and comedy, minus all the rage and finger-pointing. It's real talk for real people who just want to laugh, think, maybe learn something along the way. So join the fun weekdays at noon right here on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, Central New York's home for talk that's smart, honest, and just the right amount of crazy. Fox Across America with your main man, Jimmy Fallon.
First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX. WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hi, good morning. It's a little slick out there in some spots, so we're told, with rain and sleet and freezing rain and some snow through the day, so just be aware of all of that. Bruce Blakeman is a Republican candidate for governor of New York State. Wants to get his issues out in front of the voters and get that name recognition throughout the state. And Bruce Blakeman, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
Good morning, Bill. It's a pleasure to be with you.
So it's great to talk to you, and you have a tough task. It's not necessarily that Kathy Hochul is the most popular governor New York has ever seen, but New York is probably more left than it has ever been. How do you win? How do you win in this new dynamic in New York State?
Well, the same way I won re-election this last November, I have a county that is larger than 8 states in population. We have every race, religion, ethnic group, people of all abilities, lifestyles, and 110,000 more registered Democrats than Republicans. On a night that was very bleak for Republicans throughout America, I won in a landslide. I won by 36,000 votes because I stick to my conservative principles, American values, but at the same time, I go to people who may disagree with me on some issues, and I say to them, where can we agree? How can I help you? How can I make life better for you and your families? That's the way that I govern. That's the way that I'll govern New York State as well.
And I know you recently made some comments regarding the mayor of New York City and the cutting of police. It looked like there were going to be more police. I believe 5,000 police officers that were going to be added, and he has put a stop to that. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, he said all along that he wanted to defund the police. In my county, in the last 3 years, I've hired 600 new police officers and corrections officers, and that's why I have the safest county in America, according to U.S. News and World Report. That's what I want to do for New York State. I want to make every community, every neighborhood safer. I want to make New York State the safest state in America. Under Kathy Hochul and Zohran Mandami, they're pro-criminal. With Raise the Age, cashless bail, and fighting ICE, they've made us less safe. I will not tolerate that when I become governor. I will make sure that we fully go after all the criminals and make sure that we get them out of every neighborhood, every community.
What are your thoughts on ICE and what happened in Minnesota? Obviously, there was a lot of violence. It was not necessarily a very good look for ICE, for the president. Where do you stand on that right now?
Well, first of all, I have one of the most comprehensive agreements with ICE of any county in the United States. We just had our 1-year anniversary of our partnership with them. So let's talk about the good news about ICE, and not let's focus on Minneapolis. In my county and the metropolitan area, we have removed 2,000 illegal migrants with criminal records, everything from attempted murder to rape to robbery to carjacking, all the way down to shoplifting, and we've gotten them out of our community. Where does Kathy Hochul want to put those 2,000 illegal migrants with criminal records? She wants to put them back in the communities. Is that going to make us safer? Is that going to make our communities into the type of communities where people are going to want to stay there and raise their families? And by the way, what happened in Minneapolis as you can see, is isolated. It's happened no place else in the United States. It was contrived by the governor of Minnesota and the mayor of Minneapolis in conjunction with professional protesters that we've seen before. They're un-American. They don't share American values. They didn't even live in Minnesota. They came in from all places to harass ICE agents. They were throwing bottles and bricks at federal agents. The story in Minneapolis is one where the blame goes to the Democratic administration, state, and the city. Here in New York State, even here, we don't have those issues with ICE, especially in my county where we cooperate with them. It's better to go out with local police. And by the way, I am not allowing raids on houses of worship, schools, daycares, hospitals. That doesn't happen in my county. We're just going after illegal migrants who are criminals. And by the way, I believe that we should have a comprehensive immigration policy whereby we have a guest worker program. If someone's been here for a long period of time, they may have a family, they're law-abiding, they're gainfully employed. There should be a path to legality here in the United States. I would love to see a bipartisan effort in Washington, D.C. to finally come up with a comprehensive immigration plan, because it is important to farmers, it's important to people in the hotel business, the restaurant business, golf courses, landscapers, all kinds of businesses that need that work pool.
I know you were on the line when we were speaking with Blake Gendabine, who's running in the 21st Elise Stefanik's seat as a Democrat. Very interesting because he sounds moderate to conservative for a Democrat. But one of the things that we've heard from farmers up there in the north, especially in the northeast, is the number of immigrants that are coming over undocumented, that are coming over across the border. It's to the point where, just picture this, there is a path that everybody knows, and you see clothes, garbage strewed all over the area, and that's because people are changing their clothes when they get over. I'm told there are two different types of immigrants who are coming across. One is those Hispanics who would be workers, and they usually meet someone. But then there's the Middle Eastern person who's coming over, and oftentimes, this is just, I'm quoting a farmer from up there, saying that they're picked up by an SUV with darkened windows or a Mercedes. What is going on, and what would you do as governor to fix that problem on the northern border?
Well, I would definitely seal the border immediately. I would work with our federal partners in law enforcement and Homeland Security to make sure that our borders were secure on the north. I believe that we should have a comprehensive immigration program, but it's got to be where it's a proper legal process, and we've got to stop people who are crossing our border. I can tell you stories here in my community where we've arrested people and they've had valid driver's license from the state of New York issued to them. They're illegal migrants and they have criminal records. When I become governor, that's going to stop.
Yeah.
We're not going to give driver's license to illegal migrants, especially if they have criminal records. That's ridiculous.
I'd like to switch to some New York domestic issues. Education, one of those. Where do you place education when it comes to on your list of importance? And then the other part, can you comment on two issues that in regards to education? Number one, the electric school bus mandate, which still exists despite the fact that from here to New York City, anyone involved with the power grid, including our own national grid, is saying we do not have the infrastructure to do this, yet it continues to move forward. And then the other issue is the mandate now that's coming there where schools will have to provide pre-K. And your thoughts on both of those, starting with the buses?
All right, well, let's start with the buses. First of all, on day one of becoming governor, that's over. There will be no all-electric mandate. My approach to energy is all of the above. And Kathy Hochul has been part of a green energy scam that has cost the taxpayers and ratepayers of New York State tremendous amounts of money. Just look at your utility bill. 2/3 of it is taxes, delivery charges, and part of her policy mandates for all electric. It's a failure. It's not working. We have some of the highest energy costs in the United States. I will cut energy costs in half when I become governor because we're going to get rid of those silly taxes, the mandates that make no common sense. They don't produce energy. They only go to contributors of Kathy Hochul. And I will also get rid of the high delivery charges that are out of sync with the rest of America. We pay 50% more than the state of Pennsylvania for energy in New York State. That's absolutely wrong. It ends when I become governor.
Education in general. Where do you put that on your list of importance?
Hochul spent over $5 billion, probably approaching $6 billion now, on illegal migrants who haven't earned a thing, and they've been here for only 15 minutes. On schools and education. She spent it on illegal migrants. So let's start there. That ends day one when I become governor. We're going to start spending money on New Yorkers and not on people who've been here for 15 minutes and aren't even here here legally.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Number two, with respect to daycare, I believe in daycare for hardworking families of New York State, but it should be tax credits so that we're not giving money to people who are taking the money, sending their kids to childcare, and they're sitting on their couch watching cartoons or The View. So I think that tax credits are the way to go. I'm all for it. We need to help young families with childcare when both parents are working, so I completely get it, or if it's a single parent home. So I am in favor of that. I'm very much in favor of school choice. I think parents should have the choice whether they want to send their kids to public school, religious school, or a private school, or a charter school.
Well, they certainly have that choice today. They just may not have the means to accomplish it.
Well, they have choice, but with tuition at $15,000, and on top of that, they're paying school taxes. That's not an equitable and fair situation.
And where do you stand on the mandate for which basically what the governor has said? School districts starting not this upcoming school year, but the following 2027 will be required to provide pre-K. And it's kind of a voluntary thing where if a parent wants to send their kid to pre-K, they can, but the school must provide it, which opens all very interesting doors when it comes to infrastructure, the teachers to actually teach it. If you get a teaching staff for pre-K and then all of a sudden the attendance is low because parents one year decide not to send children, your thoughts on that mandate?
Well, first of all, I'm not in favor of mandates. I think there should be local control. That's why we have local school boards. We should leave it up to them. But if the state is going to implement a program, well, let's say the pre-K program, then provide the money to the school districts. Right. Don't put it on the backs of the school districts. That's what's the problem with state government. Kathy Hochul wants to control every aspect of everybody's life. They take away local control of school districts. They take away local control of zoning. They try to mandate things like going all electric. They don't allow people to have gas stoves. It's just a very, very disturbing situation. People in New York State are miserable with Kathy Hochul's lack of leadership in areas that are important to them, making it more affordable by having cheap energy, by cutting taxes, by bringing new businesses in. Those are the things that make people materially better off, and they have the ability then to afford things such as necessities, but also the simple luxuries of life.
We're speaking with Bruce Blakeman, running for governor of New York State as a Republican. I'm told the mandate for pre-K goes into play 2029, not 2027. What do you want? This is our first time chatting. We appreciate it. What do you want us to know? What do you want your constituents out there to know? This is obviously a long campaign, but it's going to fly.
Yeah, well, what I'd like them to know is that when I become governor, you will have a governor that put New Yorkers first. a governor that cares about you and your families, that cares about your children and your grandchildren and your grandchildren to come, that wants to make a safer state, a more prosperous state, create good jobs, make sure that people have more money in their pockets so they're not living hand to mouth, so that they have the ability to afford the simple luxuries of life, like taking their kids on vacation or buying their daughter a prom dress. Right now, we are the most overtaxed state in the United States. We're the most overregulated state in the United States. We're at the bottom when it comes to economic development. The way to make things more affordable is to create an environment where businesses are going to want to do business here, so that we get good, high-paying jobs with benefits. That's what people want for their families. We also want safer communities. We want communities where we know that our police are properly funded, that illegal migrants with criminal records aren't running loose throughout our communities. And they want a governor that cares about every region in the state, not just New York City or downstate. A governor that will care about the North Country, care about central New York, care about the Capital District, the western part of New York, the southern tier, the Hudson Valley, and, of course, Long Island and New York City.
Yeah.
We are one state, and we should have a governor that cares about everybody in the state and not just political contributors or people that support her campaign.
Finally, I have somebody asking, who is your team? Baseball, football?
Yeah, so I'm a Bills fan. I was very annoyed at the Giants and the Jets when they left New York State and went to New Jersey. So I became a Bills fan in my middle age, and I'm a Yankees fan when it comes to baseball. I like the Knicks. In basketball, hockey, I'm an Islanders fan.
Okay. Well, you got everything right except for that that Yankees pick. I mean, as a Mets fan, I'm just but I am a Bills fan as well, and I think people
Listen,
like
the Giants.
I like to know.
Giants just got Harbaugh, so if you want to come back over, we're making the playoffs next year. You're welcome to hop back on board.
I'll tell you about the Giants. First of all, I'm a graduate of Arizona State University. I'm a Sun Devil. Cam Scatterboo was a running back. He got injured last year. He's from Arizona State. Love the guy. He's a bruiser. He's a great running back. If he gets healthy this year, you guys might make the playoffs, because I'll tell you, not only Harbaugh, but this guy Cam Scatterboo is the real deal.
Yeah, boy, I got to tell you, it would have been very interesting to see what would have happened this year with the Giants had he not gotten injured.
Dart had the
Love the guy.
protocol 4 times, and then don't forget
blue-collar football player.
Yeah, I love them.
Which is why he should be in Buffalo. I do not understand this.
Malik Neighbors tore his ACL, so we hope to have him back next year as well.
Bruce Blakeman, it's been a pleasure. Great to get to know you a little bit here, and we hope to do it again.
Thank you so much. Hope to see you in the studio next time up that way.
Good deal.
Please.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
All right. God
Have
bless.
a great day.
Take care.
Great
Bye.
weekend. Bruce Blakeman running for governor of New York State. We'll reach out to his opponent, Kathy Hochul, see what happens. So far, we've been very unsuccessful.
Yeah, well, I think she emailed us a statement here, and it's a favorability poll from Siena, which was taken at the end of January.
Her numbers are huge.
The highest they've ever been for Kathy Hochul.
Yeah.
49% approval versus 40% disapproval.
Need a part for your mobile home? John's Mobile Home Parts in Oriskany Falls has everything. Furnaces, skirting, combo doors, anything, everything. John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories, Skyline Drive, Oriskany Falls. On Facebook or johnsmobilehomeparts.com.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show, the Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the Fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
We have cloudy skies, 26 degrees at 8:33. Good morning, I'm Jeff Manaski. Americans in parts of Mexico are being urged to shelter in place as unrest follows the weekend killing of a notorious cartel leader. Mexican security forces killed the drug kingpin known as El Mencho in an operation that the U.S. provided intelligence support for. Posting on X, White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said President Trump has been very clear the United States will ensure narco-terrorists sending deadly drugs to our homeland are forced to face the wrath of justice they have long deserved, end quote. Meanwhile, U.S. Secret Service says law enforcement killed an armed man at Mar-a-Lago early Sunday morning. The suspect has been identified as 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin of North Carolina. No motive was offered. President Trump was not at Mar-a-Lago at the time of the incident, and no officers were injured. It's a cold start to the work week for tens of millions across the Northeast, where blizzard conditions are gripping the region. The National Weather Service says the combination of heavy snow, strong winds, and coastal flooding could make travel impossible in some parts today. Because of the blizzard, New York City's mayor is issuing a ban on all non-essential travel until this afternoon. The curtain has come down on the Winter Olympics in Italy. The Milan Cortina Games ended yesterday after the closing ceremony in Verona. The U.S. men's hockey team capped the games with an electric 2-1 overtime win, defeating Canada to claim gold for the first time since 1980. And Nick Reiner is expected to enter a plea in Los Angeles court today where he's facing charges of murdering his famous parents back in December. Reiner was arrested a day after the bodies of Hollywood director Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle were discovered in their Brentwood home. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:35. Here is your Weather Center forecast.
Powerful nor'easter well out of our reach, but some flurry snow showers around this morning could coat the ground up to an inch in some spots, so could be some slick travel early. Other than that, clouds into the afternoon and about 30 degrees with a gusty breeze. Tonight, single digits down around 9. North Country colder, wind chills below 0. Mainly cloudy tomorrow, cold in the upper teens with a chance of snow tomorrow night until Wednesday. And then maybe a little rain mixing in the afternoon. 37 Wednesday's high. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Station, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We have cloudy skies, 26 degrees at 8:36. So I got a couple messages here. We played the Bruce Blakeman interview from last week. I needed a minute to read through something and then confirm a couple of things. This is a story out of the city of Utica. It involves a council person allegedly entering City Hall and then going into an area where confidential documents can be found. And in fact, the city's corporation council issued a memo to the mayor about it. So we'll share that with you and get your reaction as well. I have reached out to the council person who was named. We will try to get that member on the show tomorrow. But when we come back, we'll have that memo for you. I'll share it, what it says. I'm kind of giggling and scratching my head because I don't get what the motive was, but we'll get your thoughts on it as well. Stay tuned. That's up next. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
Hurt in a car? Call William Mattar. 315-444-4444.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary of American independence, the United States Mint is striking a groundbreaking American Silver Eagle coin. The 1776 to 2026 W American Silver Eagle is the first dual-dated coin in this series' history. Its inspiring dual date pays tribute to our nation's founding fathers, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the spirit of the American American revolution that lives on today in 2026. Now is your chance to get this first-of-its-kind dual-dated American Silver Eagle in perfect proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, pre-sale slots are limited. With mintage of just 500,000 coins, this release is a true absolute rarity. Secure your 250th anniversary Silver Eagle now with Rare Collectibles TV exclusive pre-sale. Call 800-925-1544 now before they sell out. That's 800-925-1544. 800-925-1544.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, it is 8:38, First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. So I was sent something confidentially this morning, and it says confidential on it. I reached out a couple places, haven't gotten official comment back yet, and we have reached out to the council person who was mentioned, which is Councilwoman Katie Aiello, representing the 1st Ward. Now, here's the memo that we got our hands on. It was addressed to Mayor Mike Galimi, and it's from Bill Borrell, William Borrell, Corporation Counsel. This memo is dated February 4th, 2026. It says on it confidential. Okay, this is from the Corporation Counsel's office. I'll just read to you what it says. Our office was recently notified that Councilperson Aiello was discovered in a secure area of the basement of City Hall. Upon investigation of the incident, it was discovered that on Friday, January 9th, Councilperson Aiello entered City Hall through the front door at approximately 8:36 a.m. with a backpack and immediately took the elevator up to the 2nd floor of the building. She then proceeded down the hallway and entered the stairwell on the opposite side of the building. At the time, there were no security cameras in the stairwells of City Hall. Councilperson Aiello was then led into the basement from the stairwell by an employee who works at City Hall. A door separates the main basement from the stairwell. ID badge access is required to enter the basement, whether via the elevator or the stairwell. The City Hall, let me see here. An ID badge access is required to enter the basement, whether via the elevator or the stairwell. The City Hall employee then left the basement while Councilperson Aiello remained in the back portion of the basement in the dark. The security camera in the basement failed to adequately capture exactly where Councilperson Aiello went at this point during the incident. Now, another City Hall employee later entered the basement and witnessed Councilperson Aiello in the secure area housing records of the Comptroller's office in the dark. As a reminder, the Comptroller's office possesses records with personal information such as Social Security numbers, bank account information, and healthcare information. This employee later reported the security breach. Again, I am reading a memo that was sent to the mayor of Utica from the Corporation Counsel about an incident that happened on January the 9th of this year involving Councilperson Aiello apparently going into secure areas without access, without her own access. It appears that she used another City Hall employee's badge to gain access to these secure areas. The memo continues. At approximately 9:08 a.m., so this is, I guess, 32 minutes after she first entered City Hall, Councilperson Aiello, after failing to access the stairwell, which requires ID badge access, entered the elevator to return to the 1st floor. From the elevator, Councilperson Aiello entered the Comptroller's office and went down the hallway. She then left the building at 9:13 a.m. This memo continues. Please note that all secure areas of the basement are under lock and key. It is unknown at this time exactly how Councilperson Aiello accessed the secure area. However, the lock was immediately changed. All city employees and department heads have also been sent a memorandum reminding them of our policy regarding physical access control. While we do not have reason to believe Councilperson Aiello accessed any personal information at this time, we do know that she posted pictures of the basement on social media. We have conflicting reports on the purpose of her visit to the basement. She informed, and this says in parentheses, she informed one employee she was looking for records from the 1980s and another employee that she was looking for records from 2016. Under these circumstances, the Common Council is the more appropriate entity to address whether Councilperson Aiello is accessed, viewed, took, copied, photographed, or otherwise transmitted any personal information during her visit to the basement. In the meantime, it is recommended that all council members be instructed that they are not authorized to enter the basement of City Hall and that they may request records through the appropriate department head or other proper channels available to any member of the public. Now, this memo from the Corporation Counsel's office continues. As a separate but related matter, our office has also become aware that individuals may be using ID badges issued to other individuals. The practice also violates our policy regarding physical access control. Individuals with ID badges should be reminded that their access to secure areas will be revoked or restricted if it is discovered that they are permitting any unauthorized use of their ID badge. Now, I don't know this. It depends on the security system. It would seem to me, how much do I want to say about the security we have here? So I believe, for instance, we have a way to access the building. Only employees can securely access the building here. Smitty, I'm talking to you. Can you jump on mic, please?
Sure.
We don't know this, but there is a way for us to get in. There's an identifying, a unique identifier. It's a code that we have to access to get in here.
Here in this building, yes.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if you could announce your code over the air. No, I'm just kidding. I'm wondering, and I believe it's the case, for instance, when I punch in the morning, security can go back and say, not necessarily whether it was me or not, but that my code was used to access the door at a certain time. And it'll say, hey, 20 minutes before that or 45 minutes before that, looks like Davy's code was used to access the building, and so on for all the people in here. So I'm just wondering, upon further investigation as it relates to whose ID badge was used to gain access to the basement, it would seem to me that there's a way that you can go in and it would tell you which badge, whether it's a badge number or if it's identified just by employee name, it would seem that there would be a way to get in there and see whose ID badge there is. Now, that's a secondary issue. But I guess the first issue here for sure is, what is Councilperson Aiello doing?
She's just trying to make trouble for Mike, for Mayor Galimi.
Is that what you think?
Well, they don't like it. They have their riffs. Every time she puts a video out, she's always talking negative about him.
Well, she's critical of the mayor. It's a different party.
She's putting her word out for the city. I know she's fighting for the good and the bad of the city of Utica. Katie's a great person, but sometimes...
I don't get this. I don't understand what the backpack is for, by the way. Was it for transporting items out of the basement? I don't understand why she would go in there with a backpack. Did she bring a lunch? Did she think she was going to stay longer, so she brought like a sandwich, maybe one of those personal bags of potato chips and a water bottle? I was talking about hydration last week. A lot of people can't go anywhere. They always have to travel with their water bottle because they're going to be dehydrated on the spot. All of a sudden, they're going to need water immediately. This is just really bizarre. So, and apparently, again, I'm referring to this memo once again from the Corporation Counsel's office. She then, opposite side of the building. Okay, the security camera in the basement failed to adequately capture exactly where Councilperson Aiello went at this point in the incident. This is just really bizarre. It continues, as I read a few minutes ago, that under these circumstances, the Common Council is the more appropriate entity to address whether Councilperson Aiello accessed, viewed, took, copied, photographed, or otherwise transmitted any personal information in the basement. Look, I don't know this, but I don't think Katie Aiello went down there to steal somebody's identity. Obviously, that's the reason why you have secure access areas, because there's sensitive information down there, and you need to have the proper credentials to get down there. But I think she went down there looking for some type of documents or something, not related to a personal individual, but something as it relates to legislation or something that was done in the city. I don't know. There's reference here to the 1980s or to 2016. I think she knew what she was looking for. I don't think she just went down there blindly. But the whole inclusion of this backpack makes me think she wanted to pull documents out and take them with her, or take them out and photocopy and then later return them. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I don't understand why else you would go down there. But this is just a really bizarre story. We'll take some comments and phone calls if you want to weigh in. 315-736-0186. We'll get your thoughts. We're trying to get Katie on. I've reached out. I have not heard back as yet. It was only a few minutes ago, but we'll talk more about it. On the other side, it's First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
If you're like most Americans nearing retirement with money in a 401k or IRA, then listen carefully. The U.S. dollar is under pressure. Foreign nations are reducing reliance on the dollar, and some analysts are openly warning about the long-term stability of U.S. currency dominance. Whether you call it currency debasement or the collapse of the dollar, the risk is real. And when confidence in the U.S. dollar shifts, gold and silver historically respond. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 to get your free gold investment kit. You'll also receive a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Most American retirement accounts are dramatically underallocated to precious metals, even as central banks continue buying gold at record levels. Many Americans are rolling over a portion of their retirement savings into physical gold and silver, tax and penalty-free with Advantage Gold. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. Results vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
Ready to buy an RV? Save big in March at the largest indoor RV show, the Spring New York State RV Show, March 5th through 8th at the fairgrounds. 9 dealers, over 400 RVs. It's the place to buy. Get discounted tickets now at nysrvshow.com.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica.
From the WB Tain Insurance Studios,
Your news talk leader. Back to the Keeler Show.
All right, we're back. First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. Of course, Lance is weighing in on this. You can do so as well via the WIBX 950 mobile app. But again, we got our hands this morning on a memo from a corporation counsel in the city of Utica. It was sent to the mayor and to the city clerk about an unauthorized access involving a council person, that being Katie Aiello, in the basement, which is where a lot of records are stored at City Hall. Of course, City of Utica-centric type documents. We've reached out to Councilperson Aiello. Hope to have her on the show tomorrow to talk about it. What was she doing down there? What was the purpose to go down there? What was in the backpack? Maybe a bag lunch? Maybe something like that? Bologna sandwich? It's funny. If you watch her videos on
Facebook. Bring a cup of coffee from her coffee shop with her?
Maybe. If you watch her videos, which I've said before many times, she does a very good job explaining her position on particular issues on this Facebook page. I think she actually even makes reference to this in her most recent video. I don't want to play the whole thing right now. We might play it on the show coming up tomorrow. But I listened to it as I was kind of like cleaning my kitchen yesterday, and I wasn't aware of this backstory with the investigation into an incident involving the corporation counsel, or this report that they wrote to the mayor about this unauthorized access and whose ID badge got used. But I believe she referenced in her video being in the basement of City Hall with a flashlight. So I hope to have that audio for you tomorrow. Again, I don't want to play the whole video right now. All right, to some comments. I believe if she doesn't have clearance to be down there, that's a security breach. She has the availability to get any documents through a FOIL. She should be terminated. Now, this is from Easy and Alien. A couple of things here. Yeah, Easy, I think you're spot on. I believe if she doesn't have clearance down there, then that's a security breach for the city. I think you're absolutely correct. And I think that's why there was this report or memo that was generated based on what the Corporation Counsel's office found. She has the availability to get any documents through a FOIL. You're absolutely correct. I will say this. As a member, as an elected official in the city of Utica, she should just be able to go to a department head and request information and get it. And I've heard from both sides, depending on who's in charge, that sometimes it can be difficult to get the information you're trying to get. I think you know what I'm saying here. If Palmieri's in charge or a Democrat, the Republicans sometimes have a hard time getting what they're looking for, and vice versa. I think that's, let's be honest here. I think to some extent we all kind of assume that goes on, again, to some extent. But Easy's point saying, well, she should be terminated, that's not how it works. The only way she gets terminated is if she terms out or if she loses an election. So this, again, we hope to talk to her tomorrow to figure out what the heck is going on. Some comments here from Lance and Lee. He says, this person sure has something to hide. What does City Hall actually have to hide? This person sure has something to hide. So is he talking about, he's got to be talking about Councilwoman Aiello having something to hide, right? Maybe a cover-up for Galimi's shell game that he currently calls a budget. Well, she wouldn't be covering up for Galimi's budget, that's for sure. So maybe I'm misunderstanding what he's saying. And who hires the corporation counsel? The mayor, of course. He sure has something to hide. Sounds like Watergate. That's from Lance. That's actually kind of the thing that popped into my head, although Katie with a backpack and a flashlight, I guess. Although the city employee who said she was down there said it was dark down there, that she didn't make reference to a light. Lance, why would Davey immediately assume Katie was doing something wrong? Maybe her investigation will help taxpayers. Lance, that's a bit naive. If she was looking for a particular document, I believe she could have just requested access, and whether or not she would have been allowed to go down and get it, or somebody from the city would have had to go down and get it. But doing this in the dark with a backpack with somebody else's ID badge, I mean, come on, let's be honest. That does not sound above board. That's not above board. It sounds like there's something underhanded going on. I wonder what exactly she was looking for. I don't know that it was underhanded, but on the surface, why would you do it that way? Why couldn't you just make a request the way you or I or a member of the public would? Lance also says, tell Davey not to be so quick to defend Galim. He might want to look into the shell game currently called the Utica City budget. Okay, that's the second time you use that term. Lance, if you want to elaborate on the shell game, I'd love to have you on the show. You can send me a message here and explain what you mean, or you can call in 315-736-0186. So, all right, we'll put a bow on this for now. We've reached out to Katie Aiello. I'm going to reach out to a couple of other council members as well to see if they'll comment on this. I don't know if they can. The memo I read was marked confidential, but I do think it's something that's worthy of the public knowing about. It just sounds very bizarre. We'll continue this conversation tomorrow. We don't expect Bill in, but it'll be Joe Load sitting in, and we'll have a good show tomorrow. Hopefully Katie Aiello on the show and more about this backpacking into the basement of City Hall. It's First News Keeler in the morning, WIBX.
If you're like most Americans nearing retirement with money in a 401k or IRA, then listen carefully. The U.S. dollar is under pressure. Foreign nations are reducing reliance on the dollar, and some analysts are openly warning about the long-term stability of U.S. currency dominance. Whether you call it currency debasement or the collapse of the dollar, the risk is real. And when confidence in the U.S. dollar shifts, gold and silver historically respond. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000 to get your free gold investment kit. You'll also receive a free copy of Ken Rogoff's book, Our Dollar, Your Problem. Most American retirement accounts are dramatically underallocated to precious metals, even as central banks continue buying gold at record levels. Many Americans are rolling over a portion of their retirement savings into physical gold and silver, tax and penalty-free with Advantage Gold. Call Advantage Gold now at 800-900-8000. Results vary. Consult your financial advisor before investing. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York